So I saw this tweet, and I had to go out there and make a video about it. We've made our few videos over the years talking about Alex Ovechkin of the Washington Capitals and the crazy comments that he makes. We had talked about when they won the Cup and when he was doing all the stuff in the fountain. We had discussed the comments that he made about Sidney Crosby, and there were some other comments even throughout the years that we did not talk about on this YouTube channel. In particular, the one a few days ago when he said that he'd like his team to acquire McDavid and Crosby. Yeah, that was kind of funny, but not really video-worthy. This comment, though, I do feel like there is good reason to go out there and discuss this on a YouTube video. Because earlier this week, you had Alex Ovechkin, the grade 8 himself, speak out about the Wayne Gretzky goal record and everything that has culminated up to this point. Before we dive into the actual comments, let's go on to quanthockey.com, because this is, I think, the best site to access records in the NHL's lore, like the top goals and everything. So if you go over to the Quant Hockey goal list, you will see here that Wayne Gretzky is the #1 goal guy in NHL history with 894 goals in 1,487 games. Alex Ovechkin is in second place with 853 goals in 1,426 games. Interesting to note there, Ovi still has 61 games played to catch Wayne Gretzky's total games played number, but he is 41 goals away from tying and 42 goals away from overtaking Gretzky's number. Here's the thing about that. The numbers, if you wanted to go goal per game, okay, it's like really close. If you wanted to talk about some of the other guys, I mean, look, Jaromir Jagr played 1,700, Gordie Howe played 1,700, they're still underneath Ovechkin, so realistically, I mean, Ovi is arguably the best goal scorer of all time, if not definitively if you wanted to compare eras. It becomes very tight when you think about what's going on in Ovechkin's career nowadays, not to mention how he has aged because he is a lot older now compared to when he was scoring 50, 60 goal seasons every few years. This previous season, he only had 31 goals, but that mostly came in the second half of the year. He had a really slow start. He usually does have slow starts, oddly enough, but this year it was one of the worst ones. This is where we get into the comments that Ovechkin made via Russian Machine Never Breaks. Alex Ovechkin says that he would have already claimed the goal-scoring crown if not for near 2 seasons of games he has missed due to lockouts and the pandemic. And if you take a look at the graphics included over here, you can see that Ovi lost 155 games due to the pandemic and lockouts. And you know what? I get it, it's a bold thing for anybody to go out there and say, yeah, I mean, if it just wasn't for that, I would have had that. I would have broken Gretzky's record if it wasn't for the missed games. It takes a lot of balls to go out there and say anything like that when you don't have the accomplishments at your hands already. But for Alex Ovechkin and the goal record, yeah, no, he's 100% right here. I mean, think about it. 155 games missed due to lockouts and pandemic. The first lockout that Ovechkin was a part of was that 2004 lockout. He would have had a full season to play hockey at 82 games, let's say at 18 years old, and potentially at a 40, 50 goal capacity because that's what he was doing when he was debuting in the NHL at 19. He played his first NHL season with 50 goals under his belt, missing out on the year beforehand. If he had just gotten that year beforehand, if he gets 42 goals, boom. He's already past Gretzky, it's already a done deal. Then he misses out games in the 2012-2013 season because there was another gosh darn lockout. He played 48 games, so missed about half a season's worth of time, just under that. Then you have yourselves the COVID year, which shut down the NHL in 2019-20, and then the shortened season of only 56 games played in 2020-2021. Ovechkin was a part of one of the worst stretches in NHL history to map out a 1,400-game career in terms of games played. Now, you've got the lockouts, 2 of them, These lockouts occurred during periods when Ovechkin was scoring a hell of a lot of goals, and then during the pandemic, Ovechkin was still getting, let's say, 50-goal paces per season? I mean, he was on 48 goals in 68 games played in that shut-down COVID year, and then he had 50 goals 2 seasons later. This guy could have had that Gretzky record by now. If fate just didn't do what fate did, he could have been the number one guy at this point. Now, Ovechkin is 38 years old, signed onto a contract till the end of 25-26, making $9.5 million a year. He's got the biggest dad bod a dad bod has ever dad bod, and now he's in a spot where people are talking about, oh, he looks big, he's slow, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that, he's not going to be able to do it now. Even some of the replies in this Twitter thread are like, oh, he's just coping. He's saying that he would have been able to break the record if it weren't for COVID and the lockouts, but he's just saying that because he's butthurt he's not going to be able to get those 42 goals. Honestly, if there's anybody that's going to be able to force goals to happen through sheer power of will, it is Alex Ovechkin. And the thing is, I mean, his overall career trajectory has been so odd, where he always seems to get hot in the second half of the year, that I don't really know where the ceiling is for Ovechkin. I think it's kind of a guaranteed scenario that he plays out the rest of his NHL days until he breaks the record, right? It seems like that is like his only purpose of living at this point. On the ice, at least. I mean, of course, he's got a family, he's got people that he loves, so of course that takes precedence over whatever, but on the ice, in terms of hockey, I don't think there's anything else that is on Ovechkin's mind anymore than, hey, we gotta get that Gretzky record, man. And everybody seems to be encouraging it at this point as well. I don't think anybody's going out there and saying that they want to see Ovechkin stop right before the record gets broken. They don't want to see Gretzky hold on to that one because, I mean, he's got so many other records. Please share some for everybody else, Wayne. But Ovi, yeah, no, I think time is ticking a little bit when it comes to his NHL career. I think there were already rumblings, people saying that Ovechkin would prefer to finish his hockey playing career back in Russia. He wouldn't want to stay in North America if he doesn't need to, and he could play for Dynamo Moscow or whatever. Just head over to the homeland once more. And if he's able to get that record, ride off into the sunset, finish off his career in Russia like Ilya Kovalchuk did, then it's a lot easier for all of us to say, yeah, no, that guy was the best goal scorer hockey has ever seen. And I don't think it's all too controversial to say that either. Like, on an individual talent basis, sure, Wayne Gretzky revolutionized the way players played down low. His smarts, his vision, his creativity, it was off the charts. It's why he was the number one guy in points ever, the number one guy in assists. He had more assists than anybody else had points, and he had the most goals ever too. But when it comes to that pure goal scoring ability, yeah, no, there's nothing like an Ovi one-timer bomb from the left side on the power play, right? And he can still pull it off too. All that dad bod weight, man, it's got him going. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Alex Ovechkin speaking out on Wayne Gretzky and saying that he would have had the record by now if it weren't for those gosh darn lockouts. Do you agree? Disagree? I 100% agree here, easily. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the GOAT goal scorer debate as well. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.